Hello and greetings to everyone wherever you are in the world when this video gets to you. Greetings particularly to my fellow Cameroonians. Well, I don't think I've actually seen enough videos online on social media, that actually expressly talks about this topic as it should be talked about. This issue of paternity fraud is a very complex one, like for real. It's a very complex one. And I'll advise all the men out there, when I talk about men, not just the married men, but the young dudes like myself as well. I'll advise you all to always go for a DNA or a paternity test whenever your girl or your wife puts to bed. You should do that. I mean, it's really necessary, especially nowadays, especially now in this generation where things are all fucked up. You understand? You need to do that. To bring you a whole lot of peace. It will make you, more certain about what you're doing, about the one you're with, about who you want to build with, and all that stuff. Yeah, I know for the married men, you guys can actually say, yeah, it'll put your marriage in a very, delicate situation, in a spot where things might go completely south, and, because it will definitely spark up trust issues between you and your partner, you understand? Like you being with your wife, like, especially when you guys have been praying for a child and then the child suddenly comes and you want to do a paternity test and all that stuff. I understand all those stuffs. I understand. But I'm telling you, you don't necessarily need to do this with your wife's knowledge. Your partner doesn't necessarily need to know. You understand? What the fuck? You understand? You don't necessarily need to tell them. You get the point. You just need to make it confidential. Very confidential. Only you and the dog got to know about it. That's it. Because it's really draining, you being with a girl and or your wife, and taking responsibility over a child that isn't actually your product. Like you getting so invested in a child that isn't yours. You finding out afterwards going to be very devastating. It's going to be very terrible. I mean, this leads to like so much mental damage, so much spiritual damage. I mean, it could even affect your physical health and everything about you as a man. It could ruin you for life. It could bring you down for life. Because I've seen situations where a girl or a female actually pins, you know, a child on a man whom she knows is not responsible for putting her in that situation. Yeah, women can be very, very like deceitful. Yeah, women can be very deceitful because this whole situation. It's not just like a one-sided situation. At times some women actually do this without knowing, because paternity fraud is not all about knowing someone is not responsible for your pregnancy and then you pin it on them. No, at times some women do it unknowingly. Some of them don't know. Some of them, that's why you see some ladies today, they don't even know about, they're not even sure who the child's dad is. You understand? That's why it is necessary for you as a man to do the paternity test whenever your wife or girl puts to bed, because it's really the aftermath of you discovering that child isn't yours is going to be way more, I mean, like way more disastrous than you taking that bold step to uncover the truth. I've seen a situation where, I had a guy, not just a guy, my bro. This dude is like a bro to me. You understand? He's like a bro to me from another mother. And dude loved this girl so much. He did everything he could for this girl. You all know when a man is into a woman, when a guy loves a girl, he does everything possible for you, to make sure you're comfy in the relationship, to make sure everything is straight up, to make sure everything's cool. This dude did everything he could for this girl, and then the girl took in, saying my dude is responsible. And my dude was happy, it's love. He was happy and all that feeling. And dude told me, bro, I'm gonna be a dad. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's cool. I love that. I love that. Congratulations, bro. And then he was like, yeah, 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 thanks, man. And after like a year or two, my dude left the country. You understand? He left the country. He took off, to go hustle, to further his studies out there, and then become a better man and all that shit. Yeah. And the girl took in for the second time in the absence of my bro, and she had to open up to him. She had to tell him the first kid wasn't his. Because what happened is this girl took in for my bro, and then she was actually dating not just my bro, but two or three other guys. I don't know how many, but if you understand, if my bro wasn't the dad, then there was another dude, and there might be other dudes. You understand? Yeah. So she was like, yeah, she's pregnant again for the guy, for the same guy who had the first baby, and all that stuff, all that shit. Can you imagine? Like someone took care of a child that isn't his for a couple years, and you wake up and you tell him that stuff like it was nothing. Because when the girl took in, what happened was she actually weighed both ends. You understand? She was like, dang, this dude, ain't financially stable. I'm not sure he can take care of such responsibilities right now. Because the dude was actually a teacher. I don't know if it was a secondary school or primary school or high school teacher. I don't know. But she was like, I'm not sure. But this other dude right here, he can actually, you understand. My bro was a hustler. He was into this fashion stuff, clothing, shoes, you understand? Yeah, all the stuff. And the girl took in for the second time, and she told my bro he's not dad of the first child. I mean, my guy literally did everything for this girl. Like he even sent her to school at one point. I mean, he was actually responsible for the girl and the child. The child, I mean, everything was on my guy. I mean, do you understand how draining that is? At times we men can be very foolish. We go way out of line when we love a lady. When we're in love with a woman, we do stupid things at times. But you gotta be careful. Your men need to be careful. You guys need to be careful. You need to be careful, like for real. Because I don't think this is talked about enough. I don't think so. That's my advice to the men. You go for a paternity test. Wherever you are in the world, go for that shit. If you haven't done it, then do it. Especially in the some, there are some situations where I see some guys, like, your girl or your wife puts to bed and the child, there's no resemblance between you and the child. Yeah, that's normal at times. As some people will say, that's normal at times. But for me, it ain't normal. It is not normal. Yeah, the man's genetics or whatsoever might be stronger than the ladies, and all the ladies might be stronger than the man's, but for me all that is crap. Like seriously, you need to go for a paternity test. You need to do that stuff for your own peace of mind. You understand? As like I said, your wife doesn't necessarily need to know. She doesn't need to know. You can do it undercover. You understand? Like, you understand what I'm trying to say? So, like, for real, you guys really need to be careful out there. I've seen so many guys, so many men getting frustrated. Getting drained. And this can actually fuck up your whole life as a man for good. No arguments about that. It can fuck up your whole life as a man for good. Yes, it can, and in most cases, it does. It does. Not every man is able to pick up themselves back from such, such devastating, experiences. Like for real, for real. So that's my advice to the men out there. Go for a paternity test. Don't even let her know. Go for it. Go for it, bro. For your own mental health, for your own peace of mind, for your own safety. go for a paternity test.